You ever look at someone who's always seemed strong, like really strong, and suddenly think, wait a second, something feels off? That's exactly what a lot of people are saying about Tim McGraw right now. Yeah, that Tim McGraw, the country legend, the guy who's been setting stages on fire for years, Grammy winner, hitmaker, fan favorite. He's been one of the biggest names in country music for decades. But recently, fans are noticing things that don't feel quite right. The energy's different. The spark we're used to seeing from Tim, it's just not there in the same way. People are starting to wonder if his career is winding down, if maybe, just maybe, it's time for Tim to step away from the spotlight. And hey, I get it. That's not something fans want to hear. Tim McGraw has been part of our playlists, our road trips, our memories. So yeah, it's tough to imagine a world where he's not doing his thing on stage. But the signs, they're starting to stack up. And today we're talking about all of it. What's really going on with Tim McGraw? Is his body breaking down after all these years? Could this really be the end of the road for his music career? Or is there more to this story than what meets the eye? Let's break it down. So first, let's go back a bit. Remember when Tim first started out? He wasn't just a guy with a guitar. He was a presence. There was this intensity about him. He had the looks, the voice, the stage presence. He had it all. And his music, it connected. Songs like Live Like You Were Dying, Humble and Kend, It's Your Love with Faith Hill, they weren't just hits, they were moments. Songs you played when you were feeling emotional, when you needed a pick me up, or when you were just in the mood for something real. But here's the thing, Tim didn't just rely on his voice, he brought energy to his shows. He was known for putting it all out there, running around on stage, dancing, getting the crowd hyped. And yeah, sometimes taking his shirt off, which definitely had fans screaming for a whole other reason. But now, things are changing. Fans have started to notice that Tim isn't moving like he used to. He's not as active on stage. He's canceled some appearances. And people who've seen him live recently say it just doesn't feel the same. There's one comment from a fan that really stuck with me. They said, I love Tim, but seeing him live last month, it just didn't feel the same. He looked tired. Like something hurt. That's kind of heartbreaking, right? And it's not just fans talking. Tim's been pretty open about what's going on. He's admitted that his body is feeling the years. All those tours, all the travel, the workouts, the long nights, it's catching up with him. In one interview he said, there are days I wake up, and I feel every year of my life, and then some. Man, that hits hard. You can tell it's coming from a real place. And let's be honest. He's not a kid anymore. He's 57. That's still young in so many ways. But when you've spent decades pushing your body to the limit, that wear and tear builds up. Touring isn't just singing and smiling. It's travel. It's pressure. It's stress. It's physical. And for someone like Tim, who puts his everything into every performance, your body starts to fight back eventually. But before we jump to conclusions, let's look at the bigger picture. Because Tim McGraw, he's been here before. This isn't the first time he's had to pivot. He's reinvented himself before, and he's done it in a way that made him even more respected. Take Live Like You Were Dying, for example. That song wasn't just another hit. It was a total shift in who Tim was as an artist. It showed a deeper, more emotional side, a mature version of him, and fans loved it. So could this be another turning point? Maybe this isn't the end of Tim's career. Maybe it's just a new chapter. From what we're hearing behind the scenes, Tim might be planning something different. Less about the big flashy tours, more about the heart, more about storytelling, studio work, writing, producing, guiding others. Honestly, it makes sense. He's done it all. He's proven himself 100 times over. Maybe now's the time to focus on quality over quantity, impact over performance, music that comes from a quiet place, not the roar of the crowd. And you know what? He'd still have fans. So many of us don't just love the performer, we love him, his message, his music, his story, and we're ready to support him even if it looks a little different. Think about what George Strait did. He scaled back his touring, but he never stopped being an icon. He stayed involved, stayed respected. Tim could absolutely go that route. And let's be real, there's something powerful about knowing when to shift gears. It takes wisdom. It takes strength. Sometimes it's harder to slow down than to keep pushing. you know it's something we see a lot in the entertainment world. Artists, legends, even, burning themselves out trying to hold on to what they used to be. That old energy they had when they first started. The spark, the fire, the intensity, and they keep chasing it. They try to maintain that pace, that image, that youthful rhythm, even when everything inside them, mind, body, soul, is practically begging them to slow down. And honestly, that's heartbreaking to watch, because these aren't just performers, they're human beings. And being human, it means you get tired, you change, you evolve, your body speaks to you, and sometimes you've got to listen. But the truth is, so many don't. They keep pushing, because the applause is addictive, the spotlight is comforting, and for some, it feels like stepping away, even just a little, means letting go of everything. Now, Tim McGraw, he's always felt different. Yeah, he's had the fame, he's had the screaming crowds, the awards, the chart toppers, the tours that went on forever. But through all of that, he's somehow managed to stay grounded. Even when the world wanted to put him up on a pedestal, he kept his feet on the ground. He's been open about putting his health first. He's talked about his struggles, his routines, his priorities. He's always placed real importance on things that go beyond the stage lights, like staying fit, not just for the cameras, but for himself, like spending time with his family, like making space for balance and peace. And that's rare, especially in a world that constantly asks for more. That's why, when people talk about Tim maybe slowing down, stepping back, it doesn't feel like a tragedy. It doesn't feel like a fall from grace. It kind of feels natural. Like something that was always going to happen. Something that maybe should happen. So maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of Tim McGraw. Maybe it's the beginning of something else. Something new. Something slower, yeah, but not less meaningful. Maybe it's the start of a different kind of chapter. A wiser one. A more peaceful one. A version of Tim that doesn't have to jump around a stage or crank the volume up to 11 to prove that he's still got it. Because honestly, he doesn't need to prove anything. He's already done it all. He's given us years of unforgettable music. Songs that make you cry in the car. That make you smile in the middle of nowhere. That remind you of someone you used to love, or someone you love right now. He's already built a legacy that most artists only dream about. So now, maybe he gets to be still, to breathe, to make music from a place of calm. Maybe instead of running from venue to venue, he's sitting in a quiet studio somewhere, playing a guitar and writing lyrics from the heart. Maybe he's producing for other artists. Maybe he's mentoring. Maybe he's just resting. And isn't there something kind of beautiful about that? Isn't there something powerful about knowing when to shift gears? There's this pressure in our culture to always be doing, to keep going no matter what, to never stop, never rest, never show weakness, especially when you're in the spotlight. But sometimes the strongest thing you can do, the bravest choice, is to say, I've given everything I had, and now, I'm going to give myself a little grace. And maybe that's where Tim is right now. He's not disappearing, he's not quitting. He's just evolving, letting himself grow into something different, maybe even something better. Because let's be honest, the kind of music Tim McGraw makes, it doesn't need flashing lights or fancy effects, it just needs a heart, a voice, a story, and he still has all of that. So really, this could be the most meaningful part of his career yet. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Tim should keep pushing himself, keep touring, keep performing, even if his body's clearly asking him to take it easy? Or do you think it's time to step back, to transition into something a little softer, a little slower? I mean, think about it. There's a fine line between dedication and exhaustion, between being unstoppable and being completely worn out. And maybe, for Tim, stepping back isn't a loss. Maybe it's a victory. A quiet one, but a meaningful one. So what do you think? Have you seen him live lately? Was the energy different? Did you notice that same kind of shift that other fans have been talking about? Maybe you saw it in his posture, or the way he moved around stage, or maybe you just felt it, like something unspoken, something you can't quite put your finger on. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Seriously. I'd love to know what you're thinking. That space down there isn't just for opinions. It's for conversation. And I know there are a lot of longtime Tim fans out there who probably have a lot to say. Let's talk about it. Because this isn't just about one artist, this is about all of us in a way. about how we handle change, about how we accept aging, about how we choose peace over pressure, grace over grind. We can all learn something from Tim's journey. And hey, if this kind of story speaks to you, if it hits you in that quiet place in your heart, there's another one you've got to check out. It's about Dolly Parton. She made the choice to pause her music after her husband passed away. And it wasn't just a pause. It was this deep, emotional decision that shook a lot of her fans. Because Dolly is another one of those icons who's always seemed invincible. Like she could just keep going forever. But even Dolly had a moment where she said, "This is more important right now. I need space. I need time." It's raw, it's powerful. It's honestly one of the most emotional stories we've shared. So if you're into that, if you love seeing the real side of these music legends, go check out that video next. It'll give you chills, maybe even tears. But in the best way. And while you're here, if you've made it this far, first of all, thank you. Seriously, thanks for being here. Thanks for caring. Thanks for listening not just to the music, but to the story behind it. Because these artists, they're more than just performers. They're people. And the fact that you're taking time to understand their journey, that says a lot about you. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world if you gave it a like, or dropped a comment, or subscribed if you haven't already. Not because it's about numbers or algorithms, but because it helps us keep sharing stories like this, real ones, honest ones, ones that go beyond the stage and into something deeper. We've got more videos like this coming every single week, more untold stories, more heartfelt moments, more legends, past and present, who've lived through incredible highs and painful lows, and everything in between. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, stick around. There's a lot more to come. And no matter where Tim McGraw's journey takes him next, whether it's a quiet retreat or a new creative phase, you can bet we'll be right here, cheering him on, just like we always have. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.